Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk and poodlesjewellery.com because today is Sunday and that means it's South Ellen Stampin' Up on Sunday, where I merge my two working lives together. And my locket, which is the inspiration for the card, which I'm going to show you how to do in a moment, has come about because I met a friend for coffee this week, the lovely Amy. We got together at Starbucks up the road from my house and we had coffee. Actually, technically she had coffee and I had hot chocolate because it was a bit colder that day and I really fancied all of the cream on top. So I put my cup of joe in there and my chocolate bar and then 3 hazelnut pearls and 3 vintage gold pearls into the rose gold medium locket. And it was lovely getting together with Amy. It's always good to get together with friends anyway. But it was particularly lovely because there goes my phone. We chatted about South Hills and Amy then joined my team the next day, which was lovely, probably because of the awesome offer that's on at the moment, the £200 for $800 or £800 worth of products. Just awesome. Who's not going to take that offer up? Anyway, so I'm going to show you how to make my card. I've had to restart filming because I had a bit of a splodge issue, so I'm going to start again. But I have already done parts of it. But my card is using the Perfect Blend stamp set. It's a sheet of cardstock, regular cardstock, doesn't matter what size it is, but I've cut it straight down the middle in half and folded it in half. So whether you're A4 or 8.5 by 11, cut it in half, fold it in half. Then your next layer over the top is 1/2 centimetre narrower and 1/2 centimetre shorter. I'm not actually going to put my second layer on because I'm using Coffee and Friends of the Perfect Blend. The first one I did because, you know, I kind of reckon I could rule my world with enough coffee, the 4 walls of my world, my house. But because I was meeting with friends, I want to use this one, and I'm using a different size punch, so I didn't want that extra layer. But if you do, again, just 1/2 centimetre narrower and shorter, or 1/4 inch if you prefer. So I have got the sponging. I've already done that with my soft suede, which is the card blank, and the edging, because I could have gone with early espresso, but I just wanted it a bit softer. But now I have got my early espresso ink and I have got my stamp all prepped up, and I'm going to be very brave and I'm just going to stamp straight into the middle. Perfect. And now what I can do is I can start using my blender pens to colour, but I just want to dry that down very slightly. So I'm going to bring in my other stamps here now, and I'm going to do some marker work on it. So if I bring this in so you can see it, so it's got Coffee and Friends of the Perfect Blend. So I'm going to go with Garden Green, because I kind of think that's maybe the green of Starbucks. And I've got early espresso this time because I wanted it just that bit darker, so I'm going to go with the word coffee in the early espresso, and I'm going to go with the I'm going to put Friends in green. So I'm just using the side of my brush tip. Don't use your pen like that, use it sideways on. And our Stampin' Right markers are filled with the same ink as our stamping pads. So if you run out, if your pen runs out, not that I can imagine it ever would for years, but if it does, you just pull off the nib, put in some more re-inker, and you're good to go again. So there we go, that's there. Let me stamp that down. There we go, how cool is that? Coffee and Friends of the Perfect Blend. So my first one I stamped using the Ticket Builder punch, the Ticket Duo, because it was great, but I want to use the Artisan punch this time, which is a bit bigger, hence why I'm not putting the second layer on. So Coffee and Friends, there we go, that's done. I'm going to bring in my sponge that I've cut into 1/4. I take a circular sponge, cut it into 4 pieces and staple on a label. And this one is the soft suede ink, just so it matches the edges. And just sponge around those. And that I'm going to stick down at the bottom corner so you can see there just wouldn't have been enough room if I'd brought in that extra layer. Right, let's do a little bit of work with the blender pens. Okay, so I have got So Saffron, and I have got Garden Green, and where's that soft suede gone? There it is, soft suede. So you squeeze in the middle, and that puts some ink on the lid. so like a paint palette. Same with the garden green. And the same with the soft suede. And then you've just kind of got a paint palette. So I'm going to come in with the paler one first. And you just take your blender pen and swipe through it, and it's picked up some ink and apparently a hair. If I scribble on my grid paper, you can see that the more I scribble, the paler it gets. And then if I've got a little bit of ink on the other side. And actually that is how you clean off your marker, but that's how you get the blended look. So I'm going to pick up a bit, and I'm just going to go around the coffee can lid. And I'm not going to be too perfect. A, because I'm not very good at that perfect thing, but because the whole look is sort of a bit sketchy, that's fine. But I'm keeping it darker on the edges because I'm reckoning that the light is hitting straight down on it. And that's paler on the inside. So I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to pick up some green, see how dark it's going to come out. That's not too bad. And I'm going to go straight up and down, and it's fading into the middle, and the same from the opposite side, straight up and down and fading into the middle. There you go. Oh, I don't know how well you're seeing that. My neighbours have just cut their trees down, so it's all got nice and bright in my office. There you go. Can you see that the light it would be hitting the middle, and you can just keep building up, but be gentle with your building, because this isn't watercolour paper, so it can tend to pill, what's known as pilling, which it's slightly beginning to do there. So there we go. And then finally, early espresso. Let's see how dark that comes out. It's not early espresso at all, it's soft suede. So one little streak there. I maybe picked up a tiny bit too much there. And you just keep picking it up, tiny little dabs. And that to me looks kind of pretty much like a coffee cup. It's not bad. I'm not perfect on the whole blending thing. You know, I've got a lot to learn with it. I was never very good at colouring. I enjoyed colouring, but I kind of always went outside the lines. Right, let's lift this up with some dimensionals. I'm going to take 2 on the back of this. Oh, picked up a hair there. There we go. I have that down at a jaunty angle, and I've got some candy dots, and I'm going to take the soft suede ones here. I'm going to take 3 of these because to me they were just like coffee beans being spilt. I know they're not the right shape for a coffee bean, but you get the point I'm trying to make. And then I want to have a cluster here, so I'm going to take the early espresso and have a little cluster there. We'll have one there, and I'm going to cover up that little splodge there. And then a third one. And I'm going to lift it all up. Final one, just check I've got it the right way round and lift it all up. There we go, and that is my card, inspired by a locket, which was inspired by meeting with a friend. So, I hope you liked today's South Hill and Stampin' Up on Sunday project. It's quite cute, I kind of like it. I will practice the blender pen art, though. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.